Live from WBFF in Baltimore, this is Fox 45 Morning News.
Good Sunday morning to you, looking live over the harbor on this sunny May 21st. I'm Taylor Stewart. Let's get over to your forecast. Meteorologist Amy Aronson with some sun in the plans.
Yeah, definitely sun, warming temperatures too. We're already in the mid-60s right now in all locations, so feeling great at this hour, and it's only going to get warmer as we head through the rest of the day. So we are looking at a very pretty day ahead of us. We do have winds picking up from the northwest, so it's a drier, cooler direction. Currently, wind speeds anywhere between calm and up to 15 miles an hour. And we could see these gusts as high as 20 miles an hour today. Otherwise, it's all sunshine. Perfect day for heading to the farmer's market or doing anything you want to do outside. Mid-70s by lunchtime, near 80 degrees to wrap up the day. And this is just the start of a nice sunny stretch. Our temperatures are up and down this week, so I'll break down your temperature trend, and we'll also take a look at your Memorial Day weekend forecast too. That's all in 10 minutes. Taylor?
Putting on a show in the Preakness. Who's it gonna be? It's gonna be National Treasure.
And that it was. A dramatic finish at Pimlico as National Treasure etches his name in history. The 148th Preakness, it's going to be in the books now. It was a moment filled with treasure and some tragedy for trainer Bob Batford. Now, one of his horses finished in the winner's circle, while another was euthanized on the track after injuring a jockey and itself hours earlier. Batford was trying to process the day's events shortly after the final race.
When he got hurt, it's just the most sickening feeling a trainer can have. And so, you know, my concern was, is the jockey all right? And I was in contact with his agent, and as soon as I knew he was okay and sized, he called me up, telling me everything fine. The horse felt, if you don't know what happened, he felt good and all that.
Now, stay with Fox 45 this morning, because we're going to break everything down that happened during Preakness if you missed it. Plus, hear from Governor Moore on the future of racing, while the former governor, Baltimore mayor rather, is assessing the state of the city from Pimlico. Turning now to a city in crisis, police say a 32-year-old man was killed in a shooting Saturday morning. Police say he was shot in the chest along Pennsylvania Avenue and then taken to the hospital, where he later died. Just over 3 hours earlier, a 19-year-old was hurt as part of a double shooting. The status of the other wounded person in this is not clear, but police are looking for suspects in both of these shootings. Now, as summer approaches, there are fresh concerns about a spike in juvenile crime. It's part of the reason Mayor Brandon Scott is putting a youth curfew in place starting next weekend. Meanwhile, doctors on the front lines are speaking out about the influx of kids they've seen injured by gunfire this year. Maxine Stryker has more.
We've really sort of normalized this.
For more than 2 decades, Dr. Thomas Scalea has been on the front lines of the crime crisis at Baltimore's shock trauma.
When something terrible happens, you go, well, that was only 2. And you go, wait a minute, that's crazy. That we think it's okay because only 2 kids got hurt this week, or 2 anythings.
Scalea says a life of violence is seemingly just life for children growing up in Baltimore.
It's ingrained into the fabric of the city.
There's families who are dealing with this more than once. I think we've heard from you before. You've had to tell a mother more than one time.
Her second child, her only child, came in and died a year after her first child came in and died. It's crazy.
Dr. Stephen Zinn, director of the University of Maryland Children's Hospital, and Dr. Rebecca Carter, a leading pediatrician at the University of Maryland Medical System, echoing similar sentiments as they sat alongside Scalea for an interview with Fox 45 this week, telling us they're seeing more kids than ever victims of gun violence.
Every person living in Baltimore and the state of Maryland, regardless of how they feel about these issues, needs to recognize that we have an obligation and we have to start to make a difference, even if it's small steps.
I don't think there's such thing as a child being immune to violence. I think it affects how they view the world and the safety that they should be able to feel in their immediate surroundings, in their schools, in their homes. So I don't think any family truly becomes immune to it. But I think that unfortunately what we're seeing is a lot of kids do adjust and change what they do and how they interact with the world around them accordingly.
There's an emotional, psychological toll it's taking on these children and their families. How do you help them deal with those impacts that are definitely long-term?
That's where people can help. If you're passionate about mental health, suicide prevention, we need a lot more support in those areas to support the kids and the families of gun violence.
I think that children know when we're giving them advice that doesn't necessarily fit within their lived reality. And so we have to also work on issues like food insecurity and housing insecurity and so many of the larger upstream issues that families are dealing with that demonstrate how to support them, how to get them able to concentrate and focus in school so that they can succeed in other ways, so that turning towards violence or having to be in situations where violence is more likely to happen is less likely to be their lived reality.
You can see Maxine Stryker's full conversation with a truck trauma surgeon right now at FOX45.com. You can also access the story by scanning the QR code that's on the bottom of your screen. Governor Wes Moore addressing horse safety across the state. Still ahead this morning, what's being done to help the state move forward with safer horse racing practices?
And we are looking at a nice warm week ahead of us. We get close to 80 degrees for the next 2 days and then a brief little cool down by the end of the week. We'll take a look at your holiday weekend forecast in detail in just a couple of minutes. It's 10:36. You're watching Fox 45 Morning News.
In your Preakness coverage, National Treasures triumph marked by tragedy for trainer Bob Baffert. Earlier yesterday afternoon, having a meltdown, had to be euthanized. This was yesterday on the track. It's another one of Baffert's horses getting injured during the 6th race of the day and throwing the jockey, Louis Saez, off of his back. He's still at the hospital this morning, but Baffert says he was fine in the post-race interview. The horse's team says the injury was inoperable. They had to put the horse down. In a statement from the team, they say the loss will be felt across the entire horse racing community. Now, Pimlico, not the only Maryland racetrack facing its share of controversy. Laurel's Park was shut down last week for over a month over safety concerns. 2 horses suffered fatal injuries in April, launching an investigation from the Maryland Racing Commission. They found necessary improvements were made to reopen the track safely for the first week of racing in May. Governor Wes Moore was at Pimlico yesterday afternoon, and he was talking about horse safety across the state.
It's both the health and safety of the animals, and it's also the health and safety of the jockeys. And I know that this is something that it's not just Pimlico and Laurel that are dealing with this. There's challenges in parks all over the country. We do know that the rate and the challenge, the injury rate, and also death rate of the horses has actually been declining. But we also know it's still not enough.
The governor also says he's committed to keeping horse racing alive and well in Maryland. A commission established in this most recent legislative session will help the state move forward with safer protocols for racing and horse practices. Now, Governor Moore is not the only high-profile politician taking in the action. Nathan Hill caught up with former Mayor Sheila Dixon to get her take on the state of the city and what's next for her future.
Inside Pimlico, a political who's who, from the governor, Baltimore City State's attorney, the mayor, and a familiar face to City Hall.
I'm not a bettor.
As the horses make their way around the track, former Mayor Sheila Dixon making her way around the room.
It's a great opportunity to network and meet people you haven't seen in a while, and just, supporting the community in this area of Park Heights.
And while she says she's not a bettor, in her last race for mayor, the odds were extremely close.
3,145. 3 years ago, that was the only thing that kept you from moving on to be the mayor of Baltimore. So that means a lot of people here in the city had a lot of faith in you.
Even though I'm not the mayor now, I still get calls on issues that people have, and I'm the kind of person where if I can help, I'm going to help.
Over a decade after leaving office, she says there's work to be done in Baltimore City.
We've lost residents, but we have to get our schools in order. Crime has to get under control.
Dixon acknowledging the juvenile crime crisis as summer approaches.
We've seen record numbers of juveniles either shot and injured or shot and killed. Why do you think juvenile crime is at an all-time high, and what's the solution to that?
Some of the juveniles know what the laws are, that they're not going to be penalized, but we have to begin to send a different message, that they will be penalized for committing crimes, for carjacks, for robberies, for whatever is going on.
And as the races at Pimlico come to an end for the year, questions loom about Baltimore's other big race set to take place next year.
What's next for Sheila Dixon?
Right now I take one day at a time.
A senior prom of a different kind. Still ahead this morning, we're going to take you into the night of dancing for both the young and the young at heart. And look at the sun out there, man. We're expecting some sunny skies this Sunday. Meteorologist Amy Eritz will let us know how warm it'll get out there. You're watching Fox 45 Morning News, all local, all morning. All right, thousands of people flock to Pimlico for Preakness weekend every year. So how about some love for the folks who make sure the traffic keeps moving steady? Photojournalist Morgan Pravado has the sights and sounds from Preakness from some unsung heroes.
Park it. Preakness parking. I'm just parking. I'm just out here just be parking. I really don't like to say too much. You need to where the parks are? My name is Sean. I'm out here parking cars.
Come on, come in some more.
You need somewhere to park, ma'am? You need somewhere to park? We charge whatever y'all can bring, we charge.
You can park with me, I get you for 50.
Can't beat it. It's a whole neighbor thing. Neighbor 1, neighbor 2, neighbor 3, neighbor 4. We just want people to come here and park. Some people come here every year that know us and they like to be safe in their yards.
They come every year and have a good time. Oh, yeah. They so sweet and nice.
Hey, my God. I knew that was you. It feels great for me because I've been around Park since I was a child, so it feels great.
Yeah, I've been in this neighborhood for so long. 35 years. But they comes back and be real nice though, you know? They real nice people. How you doing? You want to turn down?
It's wonderful to see people that from different cultures and races come to your house and just want to hang out and chill.
It's a long day. You're right. Have fun.
I feel like I've been up for like 40 to 56 hours. I just came from work from 11 p.m. to 9 a.m. Basically, I ain't getting no sleep yet. But it's not even about me making no money because I make sure my mother, it's for her bills because she's not working. So she just got out of surgery Thursday. So I'm doing this for her. I really don't want to, but I have to. I have a brother locked up. One of my brothers is gone. My oldest brother's gone. So it's only me. So I have to do what's right. I just do this to be positive, just to have something to fun.
Come on, do that. Drop them off.
We're just happy to just have something up here, up in the 21215 area. I'm just thanking God that we out here having fun, and I'm always about positive.
All right, we're sharing some of our favorite Preakness photos we received on Chime In, and it was all about the fashion. Gregory sent us this one. Talk about styling and profiling Preakness style. And our own Lady T was in the infield. She rocked that wide brim hat and got an up-close view of the track. Oh, and who said you had to be at the track to enjoy the race? Cynthia sharing this picture of healthcare workers adding a splash of color to their scrubs. As always, send us your pictures and your videos through Chime In, that tab at foxbaltimore.com, or you can use the WBFF app. All right, let's get over to meteorologist Amy Aronson. What are we expecting? I mean, I'm just looking at your calendar right now. 8 days. Memorial Day.
I know, I can't believe it. Where did May go, right?
Where did it go?
It flew by. 8 days now until Memorial Day. At that point, our average high is up to 79 degrees. That's technically where we're headed today. So already feeling kind of summery. Summer officially starts with the solstice in 31 days. Average highs in the upper 80s by then. And then July 4th will follow in only 44 days. Average highs get close to 90. And we haven't seen any 90-degree temperatures just yet. Typically, it does happen for the first time around May 17th. Last year, it was at May 20th. The year before, May 22nd, June 3rd in 2020, so a little later that year, back in 2018 as early as May 2nd. The earliest on record, April 6th from 2010. The latest on record, July 12th from 1979. Today, we're not necessarily headed towards that 90-degree mark, but I think upper 70s are in shooting range today. A bright sunny end to your weekend. Actually, dry weather for much of the week. We've got a long stretch coming up with highs in the 70s. Our weather maker from yesterday, long gone. High pressure coming in behind it, sending us dry air today. Tons of sunshine. And actually, that's the only thing headed our direction for the next couple of days. Not tracking much here on Future Scan. Smooth sailing through the rest of your weekend. Heading into Monday. Monday, Tuesday look very nice, too. It's not until Wednesday that we see any fronts on our Future Scan. It's this cold front to our north. It's going to come through with very, very limited moisture. You probably won't even notice it. Passes through overnight Wednesday into Thursday while most of us are sleeping, and just cools us down briefly. For today, we're warming up. We're near 80 degrees today. Nothing but blue skies and sunshine, so perfect excuse to get outside, knock out some yard work, maybe cut the grass today. It's going to be pleasant for that and pleasant for grilling tonight. Temperatures will start off near 80 degrees this evening and then slowly dip down back into the low 70s after sunset after 8 o'clock. Now let's talk about the holiday weekend. Starting things off next Saturday, mostly sunny, dry, highs in the mid-70s, and then getting warmer both Sunday and for Memorial Day. We're in good shape, just increasing clouds by Monday, but right now rain chances look limited, at least locally. Now, if your plans take you to the beach, it looks like we could see some showers there from a system offshore, pushing some rain our direction. So it looks like a cooler start to the holiday weekend in Ocean City, and water temperatures really chilly in the low 60s right now. By Monday, a little drier there with temperatures nearing that 70-degree mark. Now, coming up in just a couple of minutes, we will take a look ahead at your full 7-day forecast, and I'll let you know what to expect leading up to the holiday weekend, too. Taylor?
All right, today's Maryland moment, a senior prom of a whole different kind. It was put on by 8th graders for local senior citizens living with Alzheimer's and dementia. Fox 45's photojournalist Morgan Bravado takes you right into that dance.
Hi. Alzheimer's and dementia can be a very isolating disease, and we want people to know they're not alone. We want to give them the opportunity to interact with some people, to make some connections, and have a little fun.
We are having a prom for senior citizens.
It's been so many years since I've been to my prom, but it kind of brought back some good memories. I got a corsage, and I had prom pictures taken. The food was delicious, and the dancing was superb.
Left, right.
My favorite part was seeing all of my senior new friends dancing and singing and talking with each other. Some of them might not have had this opportunity when they were in school.
For many of them, whether they have Alzheimer's or memory issues or have just been on their own a lot in the last few years, being social and even engaging in a single conversation is very special.
Okay, Miss Eileen!
And we thought, the pandemic is almost behind us. Let's try to bring everybody together, not just senior citizens, but also the younger generation.
Oatmeal raisin. Oh, they are the best.
We thought it would be a perfect fit in talking to the folks at Loyola to have the 8th grade service project for the spring be volunteering.
We're just reliving memories from them they might have forgotten, or they want to just do it again. It really shows us like what we'll go through in life.
They're at a really good age where they're still receptive and open and learning, and they're also at an age where they really need a bit of wisdom and guidance from their elders.
I think it's really important because it helps us experience patience with people who might not be fully cognitive aware.
Come to the dance floor! We open it up to everybody in the community.
We were really excited that Gretchen and her sons and other students from Loyola Blakefield did a promposal that went viral.
We went to my grandmother's house, me and 3 other kids with flowers and posters, and then I walked up to the steps to knock on my grandmother's front door, and then she answered. Hi, Grammy. I went down the steps and we all sang like "Can You Go to Prom With Me" song.
Will you go to prom with me?
We wanted to make sure that everybody had a chance to hear about the prom and be able to come in and join us.
And I was invited. I didn't know what it was going to be like, but it was well worth the effort.
Making sure that we value and cherish every single day that we have together, and that's part of what we wanted to make sure that we emphasize with the boys, is live every day to the fullest. Somebody has Alzheimer's or other dementias, you know, they might not even remember tomorrow, but it's all about today.
Oh, that just warms your heart. And we're expecting a lot of warm weather today. Meteorologist Amy Aronson is going to let us know how your work week is shaping up in our exclusive 7-day forecast. You're watching Fox 45 Morning News, all local, all morning.